Okay, so we're talking about rentals and living in places that one way or another don't, they're kind of suspect or something like that. I've had my share too. I was living in a rooming house in Sydney for a little while after living in the basement of some old lady's house. Um, and someone had stolen my money, so I wasn't going to stay there in Sydney. So what I did was I looked in the paper, and me, when I would want to do something, I would just want to get it over with, and not do. I'm not a good shopper, okay? I just want everything to just do it, and it's done, and it's over with. So I found a place to live. There were these three people sharing a townhouse, and one of them was moving out. So I called them up, and they said, "Yeah, come on down." And they interviewed me and said, "Well, yeah, this guy's moving out, and these two are staying here. So okay, great." And my share of the rent was one third of it, so it was about $300, um, which was reasonable because rents are expensive in Victoria compared to what I was used to back in Montreal. So I I moved in, and I noticed that in the basement there was a lot of belongings of the former person who lived in my room. A lot of his shit was still there, furniture and clothes and all kinds of crap. But he wasn't paying rent anymore. He was gone. He moved out. And then there was a girl living in the basement. She moved out, and then some other girl moved in to the basement. And so there was me and this girl who lived upstairs, and I would keep cartons of cigarettes on my nightstand, and I would notice packs missing every now and then. And I'd say, "What happened here?" "Well, I needed a smoke, so I went and took some." "You have no right going into my room." Fuck. Well, anyway, it turns out that the she ended up quitting her job, and then the one in the basement ended up quitting her job. I was the only one working, and these people had no concept of things like when the phone bill would come, they would say, "Okay, your share is this much," and okay, so I'd pay my share, and nobody ever came at me to pay part of the electricity because the electricity was not included in the rent, and it got to the point where I wanted to take a shower one day. So I came out of my room, took a shower, went to take a shower. I switched the light on. The light didn't come on, and then the shower was cold. There was no hot water. All our electricity was turned off. And so I asked one of my housemates, "Well, how come the electricity's turned off?" Well, she said, and I quote, "They sent us a bill, but it doesn't have my name on it. If it doesn't have my name on it, I don't have to pay the bill." Well, things got worse from there. Suffice it to say that I had to register myself as a tenant and draw up a lease to be to enable me to get electricity. So I did that, and I went to the housing office or to the managers, and I was paying my portion of the rent. It turns out that the other people who were living with me were not paying their portion of the rent for about 2 or 3 months. And then we were just about to get evicted, and I just said at that point, I just fucked off. I was just, I had had enough. I had had enough. The place was a mess. Me, I just kept to my room basically when I was at home, and the place was a mess. It was just horrible. There was all kinds of garbage everywhere and just stuff. I got disgusted and moved out. I lived somewhere else for a little while. It didn't work out. And then when I got into a legitimate apartment with my under my own name, they came after me for I don't know how many thousands of dollars for damages and for repairs, and they were even itemizing things like light bulbs that were burnt out. I mean, it was just ludicrous how I got roped into this mess. Well, to make the long story short, they wanted me to pay, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 for fixing this place. And I said, look, I only lived there 3 months. The only reason that we put this lease together was so we could get electricity. We would have been in the dark without it. Oh, anyway, it was just a stupid situation, and I told them, look, I'll pay you $50 a month. That's all I can afford. And after about a year, they left me alone. And they said, oh, you've paid already. But fuck, you know, it's like, it wasn't my fault. The guy, whatever. I'm tired now. I work 12 hours. But it was just a fucked up situation that, you know, you think everybody's on the level and you think everybody's on the, everybody was brought up the same way you were. And then you find out that there are really irresponsible people in this world. And they don't give a fuck. And the law protects those. You do something upstanding, you do something responsible, and you get punished for it, or something like that. Anyway, I learned a lot in the first year or two that I was in Victoria. Uh, couldn't believe how many people jerked me around, how much bullshit there was going on. Couldn't believe it. Definitely not like back east. Anyway, I think I'm going on kind of long here. I'm babbling. I'm tired. Yeah, later. Okay. Bye.